Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry, managing broker at RE/MAX Elite, and Heather Holliday, your social marketing nut. You're muted again.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah, mine wouldn't even go to the video. I tried. It didn't work for me. I don't know what's going on. It used to, but I don't know. So, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Does it feel like a Monday?
It feels like a Monday. Today it is overcast and outside, which doesn't help the Monday blues. And it feels like a Monday. So, and I'm here wearing my new crown, if you can see it.
I see that.
So it was a gift, a shout out to our friends at Prestige Title who sent this to me as a congratulations for winning RE/MAX State of Florida Manager of the Year.
And that's so awesome. I was so happy to see you can finally join the club. That means every manager that's ever been at RE/MAX Elite has been awarded with that. Did you know that?
Yeah, I do, which is super awesome, which is just, it's.
And then having Lisi win Admin of the Year, which I'm so glad they added that criteria because it's usually been like broker or manager of the year. And they did add a lot of other things because like, I'm just so glad that Lisi was able to get that because of everything. You know, she's kind of like the glue that, I mean, she's not really just a bookkeeper. I mean,
correct. She is definitely
a little bit of everything, the glue that puts everything together and everything that she does creatively, especially last year when we can't do our normal events for Month of Miracles and just thinking outside the box. What can we do? I love every year how, you know, we've had the shoes, you know, whether, you know, how much money are you going to donate? I mean, I'm always teasing everybody at these events, like your money is not safe. Because I just remember the one year and I told Leo that, like, and I was just talking, I think it was Tyler. So he was doing an interview from the Miracle Hospital at our event. And I was just telling him, I was like, oh yeah, like Lisi's gonna, as soon as people walk in, like, where's your wallet? Let me see your money. You're buying raffle tickets. And then right then and there, that's when Leo walked in and she made him empty. So, you know, all of a sudden, like $200, he sits down and he has like no clue what just happened. And he's like, I don't know. That was like the lottery money for the office.
Well, it's now Children's Miracle Network.
Like, well, you just donated and now you get to go, you know.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It was so funny. Like all of that happened at the same moment. I was saying like nothing's safe. Watch when Justin comes in because anything he's got, it's gone, you know.
Right. Well, and what's interesting is this year, which we had to do virtual, so we set up in our training room and did live. I think we raised the most money we've ever raised.
Yeah. So it's like really thinking outside the box. So I'm super excited for you and also for Lisi, you know, to be acknowledged and that we got 2 awards for on an office level, which I thought, what? That's crazy.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Super, super exciting. But then, you know, now we're just back to work. On to the next. Let's back to the grindstone.
Right. Keep it going. And here it is finally sunny, whereas February in Tennessee, I swear it rains every single day. It's gloomy. I feel like I'm in Seattle or something. But we finally have spring is slowly coming. My grass is slowly turning green. It was so cool that yesterday I heard a lawnmower for the first time since October, which in Florida, that's, you know, I mean, it's not something that you stop.
Right, right.
So I'm like, oh, maybe I should, because you realize how many like dead leaves you have in the lawn, which I didn't realize until I saw their neighbor like mowing the lawn. I was like, oh, maybe we should do that too. Like, oh. But so spring is finally coming. It's sun. It's still cold. It's the layering time, just like Florida has like in October. It's kind of like sweater weather in the morning, and by the afternoon you're nice and hot. But I mean, we still had frost on the ground this morning. So,
oh wow!
But the sun is out, which is awesome. Finally,
good. So today we're talking about 5 ways to increase your business immediately. So the question, I guess, is what's holding you back? And are there areas in your business that you won't do And should you maybe jump out of your comfort zone and do it, or just be more consistent with what you are doing and maybe add in a couple of things? And they're all super simple. We talk about them all the time. So, and I would suspect that in a county where we have almost 4,600 realtors, they're all doing some fashion of these 5 things. So the first one is to call on expired listings. They're already indicated that they want to sell, but their house didn't sell. And for whatever reason, price too high, the marketing wasn't great, not great photos. They were being difficult letting people in. And the famous Lacey Ross is at my door.
Wow. And we were just talking about her.
She's giving me the face like, I'm not coming in to get on the video.
Hi, Lacey. We're just talking about you.
She's gone now. So funny. So, are the other 4,600 calling expireds? Maybe. So what's going to set you out to be different? And like we always say, when you're doing this, whatever you're doing, any type of networking or marketing, always be your authentic self. So when you're calling expireds or mailing to expireds, consistency is the key. So even if they're not ready right when you call them, try them back, send them a marketing piece, follow up. Also, and I'm going to give away some of my secrets, instead of calling on the expired that expired 4 days ago, call on the expired, of course, after you check to make sure it's not relisted. Call on the expired that expired 4 months ago.
Because I'm sure a lot of that has to do with being uncomfortable having people in, because especially right now, it's so crazy. I mean, you get like all these people coming in just with any active listing. So whether it be, I think a lot of it has to do with the comfort level. So those might be prime now, whereas they weren't back then.
Because we weren't sure how we were handling people coming in the houses. And now, we're still going in houses. I would probably say half the houses I show have a requirement for a mask. Don't touch anything. We'll have all the lights on and doors open. Put on shoe booties. Use hand sanitizer. So I think we've seen that we can do this safely and effectively. So if they tried to sell, couldn't sell for whatever reason, took it off the market because of COVID, go back in your history in the MLS and find those listings that are maybe 4 or 6 months old. See if they're still interested in selling.
And you may even see like in notes or anything on the possibilities of what the issue was, if there was like a long time, between showings, or just any notes or anything that you can find out about that property to help, it kind of gives you that insight on maybe why.
And it's funny because I always say to my sellers, when they say, well, we need 5 hours notice, or we need 4 hours notice, or whatever it is they need, what I say to them is, most of the time you're going to get plenty of notice, whether it's a day's notice or a request in the morning for an afternoon showing. But if we put that restriction in there and say it's a day that you actually don't need the notice, or that you already approved a showing for 5 hours from now and they want to show 20 minutes after that last showing, we're going to lose showings by doing that. So although I know that that's your criteria, especially if you use the showing app that we use, they have the option to decline the showing, accept the showing, or reschedule the showing. And the chances of them getting that person not giving the 5 hours, it doesn't happen that often. So let's not limit it, and let's open it up as best we can. So that's kind of one of the things. Sometimes if the seller has too many things that make them appear to be difficult, no showings. So look in your agent comments, because there's lots of clues in there. No showings for 5 hours. Chandelier doesn't convey. Washer dryer, only with full price offer. All of those things make you appear to be a little bit difficult. And so here's my thing. If you don't want the chandelier to convey and you're selling your house, it's going to have to come down. and the goal is to get it sold. And we know in this market, they're going under a contract in a day or so. Take it down now and put something inexpensive in its place. And then it doesn't become a
An
question.
issue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if it's really nice. There's some really cool ones out there. And I mean, it's like people just fall in love with it and they want it to be, and then it just like becomes this issue. Whereas if you're moving, take it down, pack it, put something. I mean, they're super cheap. You can find really cute ones under $50 just to put up there. You know, nobody's ever seen it. It doesn't become an issue.
Exactly. Sure. Exactly. And, you know, sometimes people assign a value to those chandeliers that they're not even that value, but it's like, oh, chandelier is not conveying $1,000 off the price in the buyer's mind, you know, or something wacky. Yes. So you're exactly right. Look for the clues in the listing when you are calling the expired to say, hey, I think if we, you know, worked on this and this and this, and this is what I suggest, that you'll be overcoming some of the obstacles that may have prevented it from getting sold in the first place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The other is visit for sale by owners. That's one of those ones. I remember when I first started in the business, we had a whole packet that you would just bring to a for sale by owner and say, you know, I have a couple of buyers looking in the area. I just want to preview your home to see if it fits their needs before I call them and bring them over. And I want to share some information with you about selling your home that may help you. Because sometimes for sale by owners are adamant about not listing at this time, or for whatever reason, you know, you want to build a rapport with them in order to get their listing. You know, it's always interesting to me when somebody does a for sale by owner, because they're just letting anybody from the general public come into their home.
Which is just scary, let alone not approved and all of that other, I mean,
right.
So many issues.
When a buyer's working with a realtor, they have already spoken to a lender. They're pre-qualified. We know that they are really looking to buy houses and not just, you know, spending time on a Sunday afternoon looking. But visit the for sale by owners. We call them FSBOs for short, and see if you can build a rapport. See if you can get a listing appointment with them too. But if not, and you have someone who specifically wants, like I live in the courtyards, who specifically wants the courtyards, and you see a for sale by owner, go knock on their door or give them a phone call and check them out and let them know, I might have a buyer, but can I see your place first? Because my buyer wants a redone kitchen and I need to see if your kitchen's redone or whatever.
Right. I mean, and right now I think there's a lot of that because we have all these buyers. And I mean, when you don't get the, you know, when you put an offer in, I mean, I think we just have an overload of buyers. So being proactive as an agent to go and visit the FSBOs, I think that's almost crucial on an agent level to be able to help your buyers and get to know what's out there and, you know, possible. I mean, just be able to convert that.
Right. Right. Or you can do something virtual, you know, you can do a virtual marketing piece with them or get them on the phone and have a virtual conversation. If, you know, people are worried about having you in their home or COVID, I think we're going to see more and more virtual. I think we're going to see more and more video chat. You know, back in the old days, and by old days, I mean 5 years ago.
What are you going to say? What is old days?
5 years ago, before I got an iPhone, Apple was the only one who had FaceTime back in the beginning, you know, and now there's so many options to video chat with people. Messenger through Facebook, you can video chat through, you know, so things can be done virtually, not always in person, which is nice.
I mean, just to think, because I don't know. I mean, every area is so different. So somebody, you know, knocks on their door, it may not be, you never know. I mean,
right.
It may not be like a good thing. So I figured, well, at least maybe even if you mailed a nice piece, you know, on why would you let the general public, I mean, just different things on with tips to give value for a FSBO to maybe, you know, be a little different than that aggressor that's knocking on the door and why are you doing da 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 da, you know, maybe I mean, that's more passive. That's more of my approach. I'm not going to knock on anyone's door. I'm not going to call anybody. So I'm just a mailer, but that's super passive, but come from a place of value
Yep.
so that you kind of stand out. But you can just create a nice marketing piece, whether it be a letter or like a postcard that, you know, has like a call to action, but bringing value that maybe make you stand, you know, from the others.
Right. Well, you know, I was doing a training on Friday and they were talking about, you know, mailing or emailing to your database. And it's always give them a reason to open it, you know, so it's something of value, whether it's talking about, you know, spring cleaning or what are the best things to get you return on investment when you sell your home, or how to maintain your, we don't call them furnaces here, but how to maintain your furnace or your HVAC, you know, give something of value. And that's why I say, if you're going to a FSBO, have a packet that you can give them that says, you know, here's some information to help you sell. Here's some names of title companies.
Yep.
Here's
a home warranty, or I mean, there's so many different things that you can give them to give them help, you know, just and come from a place of value. I think when they decide not to do it anymore, if you're giving that value, I think you're the first phone call.
Yeah, I think so too. And so the next is hold an open house, but not just an open house. You know, that's Tom Ferry calls them the mega open houses. So go knock on the neighbors' doors. We're going to be holding the house open tomorrow from 1 until 3, but we're actually opening at noon for all the neighbors to come in if they want to come in. An open house historically, and I would love, I don't know what the statistic is, but you generally don't sell the house at the open house, if truth be told. It's a way for agents to get buyers, because most of the time, if buyers are out going to open houses, they're in the very beginning of their search. So they're not working with an agent. So it's a way for an agent to get buyers. But to me, and this is the missing thing, I think that a lot of people miss on, it's a way to let the neighborhood know that you're the agent that goes above and beyond. Right. I do open houses, so if you want to list, I'll be holding an open house at your house as well. You know, so and many sellers want them. So you're letting the sellers know, you know, this is part of my marketing package, and the name recognition, right? So Tom Ferry used to say no less than 40 signs. So, you know, and sometimes on a Sunday, I can see the people who've watched his videos, because there'll be 20 signs up and down Wickham Road. But you know who they are. I mean, they have to be signs with your name on, not just open house. That is marketing, advertising, free at its best, with the exception of the cost of the signs. So, you know, say you're doing an open house in Baytree, you know, from 95 to Baytree and from Suntree Boulevard to Baytree, your name, open house, your name, open house, over and over again. And it gives you the name recognition, you know?
Right. And then when you take it to like a whole virtual option, I know that we just did a training with Melanie up in Canada, and she does the virtual. So yeah, she actually creates 20 pieces of content.
Yes.
From doing a Facebook Live open house, and, you know, just doing those, or, you know, I mean, the Facebook Live open houses, maybe you do that before you do the in-person. Like as soon as you get that listing, do that, do the full walkthrough. And I know, like up here, that's what I would do is, I mean, if you have every Sunday, you're going to do that, or maybe every Wednesday, and then you have the real one day. One, you're creating tons of content. Two, you're letting, you know, virtually, I think walking through, if you do it live, I think that's the best way, because you can actually have conversations with buyers that are interested. I mean, you create an event, you do this. But what I loved is people asking questions about the house. You're live. You can have this full conversation as you're showing them, like, oh, could you show that bathroom? You know, what was that master bathroom? Go back to it. And I know there's an agent up here, and they did a walkthrough twice in case you missed that first part. She always did a full walkthrough twice on each property. So it may have been like 20, 25 minutes. But I just loved watching the comments from all these people asking questions, and you can interact with them. So that's creating that relationship. and it's not anybody, nobody's having to be in there, but then you've captured them like socially, creating that rapport and that trust and just the whole conversations. But there's so many things you can do, even just virtually, whether it be live or just like a regular video. There's just so many things that you can do for those like open houses.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I was thinking something, but I went out of my head that I wanted to add. So if it comes back to me, I'll remember it. It was when you were talking about video. Oh, well, but yeah. So, I mean, mega open houses, lots of signs, announced to the neighbors, do video. I love that idea. I watched that training you did on Thursday with the gal from Canada. So
Melanie, yeah, she's awesome. And she even has on her YouTube, Melanie Galilea, she has like 20 pieces of content. She's got that training on her YouTube, and I know we have it everywhere as well. But really some great, unique, out of the box ideas that she was doing pre-COVID. It's almost become a necessity during 2020. It's
right.
So those that were doing it before definitely have a step up. But if you haven't tried to do any of that, try it. Like, just go for it. Just do it.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. We've been preaching that now for almost a year. Just do it. Just do it, and don't worry about, oh my gosh, my hair is not right, or like I'm looking at myself today. Oh, I don't think I put enough blush on. Oh, oh well, it is what it is. Oh gosh. I mean, this is me. And if you were seeing me in person, this is what I look like. So
exactly. Right. It's like, stop it. Enough already. Stop with the excuses.
Exactly. So here's another: leverage your listings. Leverage your listings. Send just listed notices to anybody who might care. So there's so many ways to do that, whether you're doing postcards to the neighborhood, because a lot of times people in the neighborhood, well, one, we always say nosy neighbors, but they're the biggest advocates for the neighborhood. They have family members many times that want to move into the neighborhood, or sometimes they want to stay in the neighborhood, but they want a bigger house or a smaller house or one with a better view. There's also, I'm sure everybody's MLS has this feature. And I always say, the MLS every morning, just get on the hot sheet and see. But there's a feature where you can email the entire MLS new listing, because maybe you have agents who aren't checking the hot sheet. And so maybe they'll see it in the email. Facebook posting, always. Facebook Lives, mailer.
And I would even take advantage now, and I would almost do a lot of like mail, like postcard announcements, just to be able to reach the neighborhood, especially if it's an area that you work heavily. Utilize those listings to, it's probably going to sell within a couple days, but it allows you to use that for marketing, because right now, listings are just, they're super hard to get because you have every single person wanting it because there is zero inventory. I think we are down to 1.2 months, which is crazy for our area, but utilize those, use that for marketing. We're not using the marketing budget, running ads on active listings because they're selling so fast. Put that money, that budget into snail mail, like just get in front of people that you have that. And then when they do call, like, well, it's sold in a couple of days, but I have, 7 other buyers that want this. So if you're looking, thinking of selling, I just think.
Exactly. It's funny. I was talking to one of our photographers, Dave Dahl with Next Door Photos last week. And, he was asking me how I saw the business. I was asking him if they were still busy. And he said, one of the issues that they're having right now is agents are saying, well, the houses are selling too fast. I don't need professional photos. Right there.
Yeah. But so, still, that's their reputation.
That's what I said to him. I said, here's what you're going to tell these agents that tell you that. Sure, the photos are for the seller and the marketing of the property, but that is also the marketing of your reputation. Those listings are out there in computer land for anybody to see. And if there's crappy photos, that is an indication of the type of work you do. And you're telling other sellers, I do crappy work. You know,
Yeah,
and
no, absolutely.
I'm not saying everybody has to hire a photographer. There are many people who have great cameras and take great photos. If you're one of those people, great. But if you're not, like me, my phone, the camera is always like dirty and, hire your photographer. That is you marketing yourself and your business and showing the world how you are a professional and how you professionally market a property.
No, absolutely. And I think you already know, like, it's one of my biggest pet peeves, when you see that reflection of the person behind the bathroom and every picture is
Oh,
like
yes.
vertical, horizontal, like it's all over the place. They're horrible. Not that expensive. It's your business. It's a business expense. It's how you run your business. It's your portfolio. It's everything about you. It's just like a huge pet peeve of mine. Just get those, even though it's going to sell in a day. They are out there.
Right.
It's going to be on Zillow. It's going to be on everything. When somebody's looking at your past, it's just something that you should be including in your listings as a business expense, period.
Exactly. You know what? And let me go back to open houses because Stephen Thaggart with Embrace Home Loans just commented. Partner with your favorite lender.
Yes.
Have them do, there's a word for what they're called, but a net sheet.
Like an amortization thing.
Yeah, a thing that shows the interest rates, and this is how much your payment would be, and this, so that you can give that to buyers as well. Make sure you have a great relationship with a great lender who can help you with your mega open houses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even any events that you do. I know we talk about community events and stuff like that, but always partner up with the mortgage company, co-brand that you're doing, leverage that. It helps you with, cost. It's a win-win for everybody. But I don't know, it's really like a no-brainer to be able to co-brand with that and to have that information available at open houses, for the buyers so that they know, it's providing the value and everything else. So win-win across the board for everybody.
Exactly. And then piggybacking off of the leverage your listings, announce your sales. That's one thing I do, certainly within my farm area. When I've sold a property, I send just sold cards. Not to be bragging but to remind those people in my farm that I'm out here selling houses and I got this home sold and, under contract in 2 days or sold above list price or multiple offers, whatever, was unique to that sale, send it out wherever, so do your farm if it's within your farm area. So, my farm is generally where I live, which is Suntree. So if I do a house in Palm Bay, I'm not sending my Suntree people and just sold. But I am posting it on Facebook, which is also a reminder to everybody out in Facebook land or social media land. I'm not as good with Twitter or Instagram. I'm trying to work towards
Instagram. I'm definitely not on Twitter. My Instagram took up my Twitter time.
Did it? Yeah. I haven't. I still don't. I don't want to say I don't understand Instagram enough to be able to interact, but I struggle with that, and I've done
stories. Stories are huge. Like stories to me, at first, people getting all these private messages, but that's the whole point. Stories,
really,
Instagram, Facebook, organizing, highlighting. Like, yes, Instagram is awesome.
So announce your sales. You're reminding everybody in your sphere of what you do and that you're good at it, right? That you're actually, sometimes it can be excessive. Maybe you don't want to post every single sale if you did 10 in a month. It gets excessive and that's a little, they don't, it's funny. I was reading something the other day. Is real estate the only industry where we post every second of what we do? Just did a showing, wrote a contract, 7 offers written today. That gets a little crazy and it gets a little boring and people don't want to see it over and over again. But when I think Melissa Horn did this, she had a couple of showings all together. So she did a post with all of the pictures of I'm not showings, closings, just closed these 4 in the month of February. That's a good way to do it without being, just constantly news feed of,
Well, I think there definitely has to be a mixture.
mhm.
You know, I like the 80-20, like 80% more personal of the area, and then 20% it's kind of like the Gary V jab, 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 right hook. It's like, you're jabbing, you're giving value, personal, and then you come in with the right hook, asking for the
Right.
sale or whatever.
Right, exactly. So to reinforce, so if you're right, if you're giving the value of, I do on LinkedIn, I post 2 articles a week. I actually partner with another agent in our office, Barbara Lynn, and we share our articles with each other. So I only have to find one and she finds one, and whatever I post on Monday, she posts on Thursday, and whatever she posts on Monday, I post on Thursday, right? So it's a little secret of ours. But
not so much a secret anymore.
I know. Sorry, but it works. I mean, that way we're doing half the work, and we're sharing articles that are items of value, just different things about what's going on in the industry today, and it's fun because it keeps us chatting and with each other about what's going on in business. So real estate is really a task business, and it demands you're constantly prospecting, generating, converting leads into sales, service to our clients, and how do you say, you're promoting your business. I mean, it's a task business that it's funny. I remember when I first started coaching with Tom Ferry, and I think that was in 2011. I remember I was talking to a friend or a family member, I don't remember which, and I was saying, oh, I've sold this many, and my goal is this many, so I need to. And they're like, well, how can you even set a goal? Don't you just take the sales when they happen? And I was like, oh no, that's not how this works. You have to be constantly cultivating leads and promoting and staying on task to generate, more leads and convert them into a buyer or a seller. It doesn't just fall in your lap. I mean, it really doesn't just fall in your lap. So that's why the agents that you see are successful. This is a job. We come to work, some at 7 a.m. to start working on lead generation. And you time block working, from 7 till 10 doing this, showing houses from 10 until 4. Sometimes you're showing at night, sometimes you're showing at the weekend. But many times buyers and sellers are available during the day. Everybody has such flexible schedules these days. But the more you treat your business like a business, the easier it is for you to continue to cultivate your business, right?
Right, because otherwise it's like this.
Yeah.
You are sitting there prospecting, you got this, and then you stop working on all those other pillars to your business, and then all of a sudden they close and you're down like this, and you got to start over, and it's like this flipping roller coaster. But if you're constantly time blocking to be able to work on all those pillars to your business, and we try to have 7 to 10 things that you're consistently doing, and that's with the time blocking, then you'll just steadily see this climb versus this roller coaster, because you're in business, it is your business. So you have to constantly be working on things for, whether it be marketing, servicing your clients, creating that experience, giving value. I mean, it's a constant. I mean, it is.
Exactly. So as long as you are executing with consistency, I think you will be successful for sure.
Absolutely. Sure. What's the weekly activity for this week?
Step outside of your comfort zone and work this week to expand your vision. Take your goal for this month and give it a little stretch. In other words, whatever your goal is for this month, stretch it out, make it a little bigger, make it a little unattainable, because that will help you to work harder.
Right. Because in the words of wisdom, I thought went really well with that is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I really thought that was great, because I feel, by getting bigger and looking at things in different perspectives gives you a different vision on a different thing.
Right.
That kind of didn't make any sense, but in my head, it totally made sense.
And I just want to say, since I mentioned some of our sponsors today, so here's the crown. That prestige title has my name on it. So
I didn't even notice it had your name.
yeah, personalized.
That's awesome. Awesome.
So thank you to Prestige Title for that, who partners with us on so many things, helps us with our charitable events, as do the Faggards at Embrace Home Loans and Dave Dahl with Next Door Photos. We have so many great partners in our business that have the same vision as we do, which is work hard, give back. There's some, yeah. Work hard, give back, have fun, family.
Work smarter, not harder, give back, be nice, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's only on our logos, right?
I know.
We see every day. That's awesome. Well, until next week, everybody wake up, kick ass, and repeat. We'll see you next week. And then we're off a week because we'll be in R4. I think I'm going to make Kerry go live that Monday just while we're there, depending on what we're doing. I don't know. I can't even remember what the events are. But since we'll be together in Orlando, we'll probably do just a little live to say hi, not an official show. And then we'll do kind of like a recap when we get back, because our brains will be full of learning for a week. So I'm super excited for that.
Awesome.
That's it. So we'll see you next week, everyone. Thank you.